Welcome back, guys. Episode 4. Today is July 5th, Sunday. We're going to be backfilling our footings up top. Give the boys a nice flat spot to work on to form up their stem walls tomorrow. Was planning to use the machine, but she decided to quit today. I don't know. Could be a religious thing. Not sure. But I checked the fuses, I checked the battery terminals, I tried to jump start it for a little while. Nothing's happening, she's not ticking on. So we're gonna be doing some manual labor today, sweating it out, which is okay. It's a beautiful mix of sun and cloud today, so not too hot yet. I looked at the hot tub and the cold plunge videos, and I thought I was looking like a bag of milk, so it's not gonna do anybody any harm for me to have to sweat it out with a shovel today. Hey guys, welcome back. I've been away for about a week or so, up doing a job in Alberta and BC. Got to see Chelsi for 8 hours or so, which was nice. Not enough, but better than nothing. While I was away, our foundation walls got poured, and before I left, I was able to do all the sweeps and conduit runs and blocks in the walls for water coming in, electrical, wastewater going out. So that was good, and they poured it while I was gone. Doug and Judy were down here, so that was good peace of mind that stuff was going to get done right. Anyways, so I've left our door sills here. I put a block in the wall so that would sit flush with our interior floor, which will run flush with these walls here. I'm not too worried about water penetration or anything like that, just because each of the doors has an adequate covering outside, so I think that should be totally fine. I'll just run you through kind of what else I did. So I've put these electrical sweeps here. I don't know if you can see, but it's a sweep that runs down and comes out the inside of the wall here. I didn't necessarily have to put one at the front door because that's our modern framing area, but I did anyways. Where the log is though, I put them so that I can run all the electrical through underneath the floor and come up through the log rather than running through the ceiling and down. I just figured that was a cleaner way to do it. And then if you see, I put in some blocks here. So this is a block where our electrical will come in. This one over here is where our fresh water comes in. And then walking along the wall here, got one up a little higher here. This is an electrical conduit that'll run a thinner conduit through for power on the back patio. And I've got one at the front door that I cannot locate, so I'm working on that. But here's another sweep at the back door here, and then opposite to it there's another one. Same sort of idea, just for switches on the walls to power in-floor lamps or ceiling lights, whatever. Yeah, and then kind of the last block is this wastewater one that goes out. These all worked really well. Like I said, I only have one that I cannot find, and it's just evading me. But so I've decided to just drill a hole through. So I'm working at it from both sides. I've got not a long enough bit, but working at it from both sides, trying to drill through, and we'll see if we get there. If you're wondering, I'm carrying some bear protection today. Apparently there's been some grizzlies around, so figured I might as well protect myself and the little girl. Anyways, yeah, I'm just gonna work on this hole in the wall for our other conduit to run through. but that's kind of it for today, I think. So I'm just outside enjoying my morning, trying to soak up some sun, tan my little leggies, and I get a disturbing message from my sister. It appears that Big Tool has decided to go after my family, and they've sent someone out to follow my sister home. I thought I was going to be able to sort this out peacefully and maybe just get a new laser level out of it, but it doesn't appear that that's going to be the case. I did some more research, some digging, found out where Milwaukee packouts are made. So needless to say, I'm staying clear of my cell phone. I just want to end this and make sure that the people that I love are protected and safe and out of harm's way. So whatever I need to do, I will do. So I'm standing where the container's eventually going to rest. About a week and a half ago, Doug and Judy were down here. Doug gave me a hand putting in these two concrete piers. And today I measured off of those two, measured the diagonals and whatnot so I could keep it square, and put in the last two. So I just finished mixing up concrete, putting in rebar, and put a bolt sticking out the top. Just finished doing that. Once that all cures and when the logs are being stacked, I'll have a crane truck here. He's gonna lift up the container and we'll place it here. So the reasoning for the container is A, extra space. We'll have about 12 feet of it will be extra storage because we don't have a ton in the cabin. And then B, about 8 feet of it, I'm gonna wall off an 8x8 room, and that will be insulated. That'll be our power room. So that's where all the equipment will stay so that it's out of the elements and a somewhat stable temperature throughout the year. So yeah, that's kind of the plan here with this container. It got dropped off last week. It's in great condition. One trip from Qingdao, China, something like that. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. Oh, and I used my Milwaukee laser level today to finish this job to make sure that they're all level together. Oh, I just love the thing. It's on-off switch is just working perfectly. What a novel idea. So I'm just up here watering some dirt here. I'm backfilling the foundation. So I've filled around the outside up to where I am here, and I'm filling up the inside slowly and compacting it with the plate compactor that's in the back there. Essentially it just vibrates around and then has enough weight where it, I don't know, the gaps fill. I have run the electrical conduit that is right here most of the way in. I've just got to run it across and into the utility room. I've got to run the water line tomorrow. That's why I've left kind of a void over there. So I'll run that tomorrow and then backfill in that little area. Not a super glamorous job. Kind of just time consuming. But it's going all right. Mountains are blue, baby. Time to go. Ooh, fuck. Well, here we are after about a full days of backfilling and compaction. I've still got quite a bit more to do. I'm going to bring it up to about 10 inches shy of the surface with this material. And then I'm going to get some other material to do the final 4 inches of backfill in here to kind of help grade it out. Then I'll have 2 inches of foam and then 4 inches of concrete, which will bring us up to the level with the walls here. But anyway, so I've ran our electrical, like our main electrical conduit in. This stems up into our utility room, and then this black pipe and the gray wire there, that's going to be, that runs out the wall, and that's going to be our water line in from our cistern, and then that's power out to the cistern pump. Over here on this end is where our wastewater goes out. So I just stemmed this one up out of the surface here so I can compact around it, because that goes down 4 feet to below the frost level there. Then on this side of the wall I've got to clean out, and then it kind of just 245s to 90 it and get it out from the foundation a little bit, and then that's going to run down there, connect to the septic tank, and then from there go out to the field. But anyway, so yeah, it's coming along. Lots of work. I'm not a huge fan of this little compactor deal. It's just, I don't know, feels like it's just rattling your bones apart. But not the biggest deal. Just takes some time. But the rain has helped, so that's great. I think I'm hoping another like day or so of this, maybe 2 days, and then I'll have the brunt of it done, which will be nice. That's all. Koa's having a great time. She found her ball again. Keeps losing it for like 4 days, and then we'll find it. All happy. Hey, Koa, bring here. Leave it. Leave it. She's not gonna leave it. Well, here we are standing in the bedroom. Pretty much up to grade here. I've got maybe an inch and a half to come up in here and do a final compaction in this zone. I've moved all the material that got dropped off today. It was about 22 yards or so. I've moved about 17 up here so far. I've got about 5 down there kind of in reserve if I need it. I think I'll need a little bit more on that far end in the living room kitchen area. But yeah, getting pretty happy to be getting close to the end of this backfill stage. It's pretty boring, just lots of shoveling, moving material around, so it'll be good once it's done. I can only really think of exciting things past this. So yeah, it's a little sketchy on this side. I had to move some material in there to make it flat so the machine didn't just topple over the cliff. But there's like these little hills right here that I have to go up. And when you lean back in the skid steer with no weight in the bucket, it just gives you a real uneasy feeling. Your butthole kind of just goes like that for a second, and then you realize you're not going to die, so then it's fine. But yeah, it's coming along here. I'm pretty excited. So there's these little orange dots here. That's the level that I got to come up. So I've got to come up another 6 to 8 inches in this section. Not too bad. Definitely cause for celebration once it's done. I'm shaking. I'm so excited. We are up to grade. All this backfill, we had literally, like, I don't even think there's a 5-gallon pail left over. So it was literally the exact amount of backfill of this crusher fines that I needed. So that was great. So yeah, next up, we're gonna be plumbing, doing all of our drains running out into the septic, electrical conduit, which are for our in-floor plugs and all that, and that'll run also to our switches, and then we insulate and put our radiant heat tubing down for the slab. So pretty excited, should be great. What's up, gang? We are back down here. I took 4 days, drove up to BC, came back down, grabbed Chelsi. So we're all 3 of us are down here, me, Chelsi, and Koa. The 2 other dogs are still up in BC. But anyways, nice to be down here, the 3 of us. And now we're starting to work on our plumbing here. So we're digging up a trench in our freshly compacted material here. And that's gonna be a trench that goes all the way along down the line to the bathroom, which is our furthest fixture there. And along the line here, it's gonna tee off and go into our kitchen sink / dishwasher, and then our utility room, which will have a washing machine, dryer in it, the water heater. So there's a couple different drains there for condensate wastewater from the washing machine, and then it carries on and goes to the shower, toilet, and sink in the bathroom. So yeah, this stuff's getting more exciting. It's a lot better than pounding dirt. So yeah, let's get going. Ready? Well, we just heard the generator turn on, so Chelsi's up and at 'em. I made her a chai tea this morning, so I'm hoping that she returns the favor and brings me up some sort of breakfast. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Well, we got most of the, what's this shit called? We got most of the plumbing done. We just got another little trench to do, and a few more drains, and then we'll be done with the plumbing. But here's what it looks like now. I'll flip you around. So, starting at this end, we've got our washroom sink. This one does not have a trap underground. That one's gonna have a trap above ground. Then we've got our toilet, 12 inches off the wall, hopefully, should be. Then we've got our our shower, which has a trap underneath it. This all ties in. Oh, I learned something pretty cool. You see how the toilet ties in after the shower? That's because you don't shit in your shower, or you shower before you shit, or you don't shit. It's one of those things. But anyways, the toilet ties in after the shower. Anyways, carrying on. This is our kitchen sink and a clean out. The kitchen sink has a underground trap there, and that ties in. And then from this one here, it will run up a little trench here, and that will go to a drain there for condensate from the hot water heater. It will go to another drain that will have a trap in the wall for the washer and dryer, and then it will also tee off here, and we're gonna have an in-floor kind of emergency drain in case anything explodes in the utility room. But yeah, coming along, shaping up. My hands look like this, so that hers can look like this. Well, Cole really wants to play this morning, but I'm not in the fucking mood, cause I've got this cute little piece of conduit that I put in to run power eventually out the back patio, and it's just been the bane of my existence for the last couple days, because I did our 4-inch trench, which is our like main drain line, out, and ran into this little sucker. It was about a 1/2 inch too low. I thought I was gonna be able to run the pipe under it completely clear and have my slope be good, but it was about a 1/2 inch too low, so I ended up digging the whole trench another 2 inches deep, which was a pain. And then of course it's reared its ugly little head again today, and I've got to figure something out. So for this 2-inch run here, I think I'm just gonna come out and then use a 45 to kind of bump it up, and then over this conduit. I don't think it shouldn't cause any issues. We'll still have the right proper like slope in our drain lines there. And yeah, shouldn't cause any issues. It'll be a gradual little bump up, so not a big deal. That's the plan. Let's get gluing. So with this glue, you got your primer and your glue. I don't know what they do, but they smell good. Well, here's what we did here. So this is our Y coming off of our kitchen sink. So it comes up, this goes to our utility room, and then I just 45 upped a little extension piece, and then 45 over this piece of conduit, and then that run's going to continue on there. Well, I know all my super fans are interested to see this part, but I am in fact married. I have a beautiful wife. I'm not an incel. I'm not just down here just doing this for myself. There she is. Say hi, that's Chelsi.
Hi.
Everybody knows her. Well, it's been a couple of busy days. Haven't really been recording too much, so it's not the most enthusiastic I've been on this build so far, just because it's kind of boring, tedious work. So over the last couple days we have done our vapor barrier, which you can see there in that little channel, and then our insulation, which is under the slab. The insulation is just 2-inch thick under slab insulation. Should help with our radiant heat not dissipating below and keeping our heat in the slab, which is our primary source of heat for this house. It'll be primarily that, and then we also have a fireplace. So, but what's running kind of 24/7 to keep the place up to speed is the radiant heat in the floor. So obviously we want to keep that as efficient as possible. Other than that, next steps will be doing our in-floor electrical. So that's just running some conduit around in-floor boxes, and then running that conduit back to the panel, and then also to our sweeps in the concrete for switches and whatnot. Shouldn't be too bad of work, but we're gonna kind of channel it down in the insulation so it's not sticking up, so that our radiant heat tube is flush with the insulation. And then after that, we will take that radiant heat tube, staple it down to the insulation. It kind of snakes all around in weird patterns because what happens is they input the like your floor plans into, I don't know, some sort of CAD thing, and it maps out your runs in the most efficient manner to keep your heat, I guess, steady and just your runs not too long. So it goes from the manifold, 4 different runs that run around the perimeter first, and then they kind of snake in and then return back to the manifold. Yeah, I don't really know, so I'm just gonna follow the directions here. But that's the company Radiant Tech. Forget where they're based out of, but it's kind of cool. They ship you out the whole package, so you get your manifolds, you get all your tube, a whole bunch of other stuff, your heater and all that. And that heater is kind of cool. It's an on-demand system, but it will also do our hot water for our sinks and our shower. So that's great. We don't need to have 2 separate systems to do it. Yeah, that's kind of the rundown. I think that'll probably conclude this episode, and then we'll see you next time.